Blessings, beautiful being. So, as the first video for this channel, what I want to talk about is surrender and why it is so important for you to surrender everything that you have for God on this journey. Now, where I want to start off is that whenever a seeker starts going on the journey, initially there's a lot of ego involved. And this is the regular ego, right? So it's the ego that identifies with the mind, identifies with the form, identifies with their job, with how much money they're making, with how they look, with their body, and so on. Identifies with the humanness, so to say. But then the seeker goes on further seeking and he or she realizes that they are none of these things. And the way to realize this is to realize they're not the ego, they're not the mind. So then they go deeper. And often what happens then is that then there's another ego that needs to be overcome. And this is where I'm kind of at, and I have been at for not for a while. It's the spiritual ego. And this is where surrender is ever greater and even more important. Not sure if you can even bypass this without surrender. So basically what happens is that the spiritual ego kind of comes from the back door, from the behind, telling you that you are phenomenal, telling you that you are already enlightened, telling you that you're better than other people. But if you've had these satori or samadhi experiences that I keep talking about, if you've had this and you've felt oneness with everything and everyone, you felt oneness with source, you know that that's not the truth. The truth is the oneness. The truth is that you feel love for your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, your children, for everybody, for animals, for trees, for the entire universe. That's the place you want to be at. But the only way to get there is to surrender. Now, how to surrender? Because we think that is just so easy, or we want to think that it's just as easy as blip, and then you surrender. Sometimes it can happen like this. So to share my story a little bit about surrendering, again, initially I was like, I don't want to surrender. And this is what happens initially on the path, is that you resist the path. You're like, I don't want to be spiritually awakened. I don't want to have to quit my job, my 6-figure a year online business. I don't want to quit traveling. I want to do what I want to do. I mean, who's the I? The I in this case is the ego. I want to do what I want to do, not what the soul wants to do. And then again, we go through the spiritual ego. We think that, okay, we're doing what we actually came here to do. Really, we're doing what the spiritual ego wants, and it's just further gratifying that cycle, if that makes sense. But initially, I had a lot of resistance to this path. But then it got so bad, I started having so much anxiety and so much darkness around me and in front of me and on top of me, is that I had to surrender. And this happened when I was in Finland. I got a place, and the sole purpose was to meditate, take cold showers, and take care of myself. Really start to love myself again. And that's what I started to do again. So I started praying every single night, listening to this Hillsong worship. Now, I'm not Christian, but I'm telling you that that's what I did. And this is what worked for me at the time. I listened to Hillsong worship songs, Christianity worship songs, basically. And I prayed every single night for God and even for Jesus. And guess what happened? Jesus appeared after like a couple of days. And then I told him that if you save me from this mess, I'm gonna dedicate my entire life for helping humanity. And then the next day I woke up, all this weight on my shoulder was gone. And that's when I had reached a new level of consciousness, what I like to call the through me consciousness. This is not my invention. I want to share with you quickly here before I move on, is that this is a framework, 4 levels of consciousness. Number 1, to me. Number 2, by me. Number 3, through me. Number 4, as me. So to me is victim consciousness. Like things happen to me. Woe's me. Oh, I have this life situation. For example, with me, I'm still in a mental hospital area. I was in a mental hospital. I lost my business, lost my money. That's my sad story. Do I look sad? I'm not sad. And that's when you get into victory consciousness that my mentor Christoph Melchizedek talks about. You transcend the victim consciousness into victory consciousness, and you get into by me level. And then at the by me level, it's all about, okay, like I'm the creator. I make things happen. I create things. I manifest. And then basically you move on to through me, which is more so that you're the vessel for God. And then as me, like I was saying, like you're the dove. You know, if you ever seen the white doves, what they do, like they deliver messages. You're that. You're the messenger of God. And then the final one is as me consciousness, where you are embodying this I am presence, this as me presence most of the time. And this is where the spiritual teachers are at. But that was my first experience of the as me, or excuse me, the surrender experience, and also getting into the through me consciousness more when I was praying. But I want to share something, what has happened now lately for me as well, is that, and this has been big, this being like huge for me, huge learning lesson. So when I was in the hospital, first of all, like imagine the resistance being put into a hospital. Imagine the resistance that comes with that. Imagine people telling you that you're crazy, you have bipolar, which now I believe I have. But then they also tell you have schizoaffective disorder, which I don't believe I have. They might prove me wrong still, but who knows? But I don't believe in that yet. I believe I have bipolar. But they tell me I'm crazy. They put me on all these meds. They lock me up. I can't even go outside. Imagine the resistance. I'm like, these are demons. I was like, these are demons. Like, I'm a light being. Like, I'm getting attacked by demons. That's what I was going through my mind at the time. And it lasted. I had to kind of just vent out my frustrations inside the hospital. But then I tried to escape many times. Never worked. It always came back. I always came back with the karma, because this journey is all about karma, which I'm going to make another video on after this one. But basically, always I was led back to the hospital. And then finally I was like, okay, I'm gonna be in the hospital, I'm not gonna escape. I'm gonna just do my work here, I'm gonna do my light work, what I'm here to do. But then as I started feeling better, again, this resistance started coming up. I'm like, I don't wanna go to this place, this rehab center. And then I went to, for example, Brazil. But things didn't work out in Brazil. So then I had to even went homeless for a little bit. Crazy things happen. So and only reason why crazy things happened was because I didn't surrender. I didn't stop resisting. I was like, I know what I want. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. So now my life has changed, because my life is all about now surrender. How can I surrender more into God? And that's what happens, is that your small self, the ego, merges with the higher self and with God. That's how you become enlightened. It's not what people think. People think that, again, I don't like when people comment on my journey like, Klaus, you're going crazy, or like, again, that's their thing. but they don't realize that I'm on a very holy path. This is serious for me. For example, I asked yesterday from some people as like, what should I do? Because I was feeling really confused about this thing. Like, what should I do? Should I do my agency or should I do these YouTube videos? Most people said that, or two people said that I should just get a job. But this is my job. Doing light work is my job. Doing these videos is my job. I just have to surrender to it. And then the inspiration for this video was that today I had a thought. I was like, what's the matter? Or question, what's the matter? What's the matter in my current life situation? Is there a problem? There isn't any problem right now. So that's what I want you to ask as well in your life. No matter what the life situation looks like, what is the problem? And is there a problem? And you might be like, well, Klaus, this and this and that are, I don't like them. Is that the real problem, or is that just the ego speaking? Most of the time, it's the ego speaking. When you can get to a place where there are no problems, you have won. And then guess what your life becomes? Your life becomes one with God. You're just following God. What He or she has in mind for you. Now, I don't know where my life is going to go. That's the honest answer. I don't know if I'm going to be with my twin flame. I don't know if I'm going to be a guru, a spiritual teacher. I don't know if I'm going to make money ever again, like a lot of money that I was making before. I don't know if I'm going to travel. I don't know. I don't know how old I'm going to die. But what's the matter with that? Isn't that kind of special? Isn't that what life is supposed to be like? Like a mystery unfolding itself or by itself? Think about that. But the key advice I have for you when it comes to surrender is that don't resist the present moment. Don't resist it. Don't fight it. Because if you fight it, you're not surrendering. And then you try to fight against the universe, it'll come bite you in the ass. This is my experience. It'll come back like double fold, even triple, 10x fold. It'll come back. Because if you're watching these videos, you are on the same path that I'm on, which is the path of enlightenment, path of liberation. It's not an easy path. And we have to honor the path. We have to honor God. We have to honor our higher self who put us on this path. We chose this. We chose this path, right? So we have to honor it. So that's all I want to say. I hope that this was helpful. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit the like button. Also, if you're new, subscribe down below. Click on the bell. And as always, I love you, and I'll see you next time.